Rooted in Christ podcast episode. First of all, I know, I know, I know it's been a while. And I'm sorry. I just have to be honest, guys. Life has been difficult. It's been rough, terrible. And the last time I did it, I thought that I did a mess, so I deleted the the episode. And I didn't tell you anything. It's okay. You shall be fine. But then I didn't post again. Honestly, I didn't check when was the last time. So would probably be like 2 months ago. Maybe three, maybe more. Guys, I don't know. I'm sorry. So that's the first thing. I'm sorry. um, Life has been rough. I won't be telling you like everything that has been going on, but life be laughing. No, is that how is it? Life be laughing? I think that's how you say. Anyways, um, and today I'm feeling better too, because some personal things have also happened, and I was like, Lord, today is the day that I have to come and give my face to the public and be responsible. So yeah, that's the first one. I'm sorry. I know it's been a while, and I didn't like post like anything saying like that I wasn't going to like do an episode. Um eh, oh, hola mami. Oh, I was like, who's that? That's me, but I'm doing this. Okay, hi mom. Good. Okay. Where I was. Yes. So I didn't post anything because I was like, yeah, I don't think people are following anyways. So, but you know what? But I'm sorry. I'm sorry if there's like at least one person that does like follow through with the podcast. And I'm sorry that I didn't like post a note, something to let you know that I wasn't going to be like coming live. So that's the first thing, right? So anyway, so in the meantime, I hope that in the last few months you've been trusting the Lord, because I know the things that are going on, okay? And I know I always say this because what else am I gonna say? Hi Harvey, God bless you. Like, what else am I gonna say? Like, the world is falling apart. It's falling apart, and we need Jesus. And I know the world doesn't want to admit that. And who am I to impose anything? But if you ask me, we just need Jesus. Anyway, so having said that, a few things, because I already told you why I wasn't posting. Now I wanted altogether to leave the podcast. I told this to my mom. I was like, Mom, I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna continue doing the podcast. And she was like, why? I was like, because I don't think God called me to it. And I think I said that in the last episode, which again, as I said, I deleted it because I thought I did a mess. And I'm gonna tell you why I was thinking of deleting. Not continuing the podcast. One, I thought I was like, did God really call me to do this? That's one. Two, I have also, hi David, God bless you. I have also led the devil, because who else? Get into my mind in terms of law school. And okay, so once you finish law school, and guess what? We're gonna talk about law school today. You thought you were not gonna hear about it, but we are. because, you know, like, that's what I'm leaving right now. So, and that's what God told me. Like, you're trying to do things and say things that I'm not, like, telling you to do or say. And that's why it has become, like, the podcast has become a burden, because you yourself have put stuff that I never asked you to do. And I think I told you once this, but of course God he just needs to keep telling me things. But anyways, law school. Okay. Once you finish your 3 years of law school, or however long it takes you, depending if you're not doing it, hi David, God bless you too, or God bless you more, I should say. Let me see what I was gonna say. This is what happens. Kelvin, God bless you. God with you. Okay, see, this is what happens when I still, like, responding to. I forget. Okay, now I understand my mom. Okay, yes. Okay, law school. Yes. After you finish law school, in my case, it's gonna be 3 years. But if you do it part-time, you know, it would take you more. It would take you more than 3 years. So anyways, whenever you finish law school, you take this thing called bar exam. Okay? You take this thing called bar exam. And the bar exam, it has it tests you on so many things. It pretty much is like your license to be an attorney. If you pass that with good grades, like there is a oh my god, why am I forgetting English today? Wait, guys. David, I see your message. Let me just finish this thought and then I will respond, because if I respond now, then I'm gonna forget everything. A grade, oh my goodness, that's what it is. You need to there's a certain grade that you need to get in order to pass it, in order to be admitted into the state that you want to practice law in. Okay, because, you know, every law needs to make sure that you are actually competent to practice law, because, you know, just like doctors, you're dealing with people's lives. Okay, so you need to be competent at what you're doing. So I get it, you know, I get the bar exam. So, but then there's also another part of it, and I think it's not the bar exam itself. It's another exam that you need to take before the exam that tests, like, your like, who you are as a person. Anyways, I heard a horror story about someone who posted something online. No, that person didn't post something online. No, they liked a post online. Okay, this is how serious it is, guys. Just take this advice, even if you're not planning to become an attorney. So this person liked something, and, like, the persons who were reviewing that person's application to be an attorney, somehow, some way, got into that post that person liked, and that got that person into trouble. And I don't think they got their license because of that. Okay, now my scare, so after I heard that, I was like, oh my god, I need to be careful. Not because I'm doing anything wrong online, guys, nothing, you know, but this is what the devil told me. He was like, well, you are online talking about Jesus and God, that's gonna get you into trouble. And I was like, no, why? I was like, why? But I let the thought nest in my mind, and then it gave birth to a few eggs, and then the eggs, you know, I don't know how you say it in English, but, you know, it birthed something. Anyways, and now I have this bird in my mind telling me, oh, if you continue doing this podcast, once the time comes for you to apply for law school, they're gonna find all your episodes about God, and they're gonna be like, no, she's not qualified to be an attorney. Because, you know, if there's something that I'm aware, guys, this is what the podcast is gonna be about today. A few things that law school taught me is that God is unpopular. Not only in law school, but just, like, in the world in general. And I know trust me, I know there are reasons, there are reasons why um God has just become like an unpopular idea worldwide. But I'm not gonna try to, you know, generalize or talk about everything. I'm gonna talk about here, the United States, because this is where I'm living. This is my orbit right now, and I'm not in Europe, and I'm not in Latin America. I'm not in Asia. I'm not in Africa, or any other continent that I'm probably, I'm missing. I'm not in any of those places right now. I'm in the United States. Um, so, and from my experience, I know, at least here, even where I live right now, in this state where I'm living, the idea of God is dismissed right away. And as a matter of fact, if you believe in God, you are the reason why all the horrible things in this world are happening, because you are not aligned, with this world view. And I mean, sadly, and that happens when you actually allow God to like live in your heart, change your way of thinking, your way of life. You're absolutely not gonna think the way that everyone thinks, because I mean, it's a natural thing. It's just a natural thing. Whatever you get into, I mean, right now I'm talking about if you're in a relationship with God. Let's say you go to medical school. Once you come out of medical school, you're not gonna think the same way that you did before, because you've been taking, like you've been immersed in this field of study, and you have read so many things that at the time you're out of it, like your mind doesn't function the same way. It's the same thing. It's the same thing as when you're walking with God, because whatever you thought, because now you are submitting yourself to the Creator. So you're not longer, when you decide to let God take control over your life, you're no longer your own little God. You submit to His kingdom now. And because you're submitted to His kingdom, He's gonna let you know, okay, you did this before, but now, like, you're walking with me, we don't do that here. That's not kingdom. That's not kingdom like. This is what you did when you were, out and about, then your business. That was okay when you were not with me, but now you're with me, and this is not how my kingdom works. And that's where it is, like, you submit to Him. I'm sorry, there's no other way. I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. Yeah, you submit to Him, so of course you're not gonna think the same way if you submit yourself, because you can pretty much not submit yourself and continue doing whatever it is that you were doing, because that's an option you have too, because at the end of the day you have free will. Okay, and you have heard me said this before. Anyways, guys, so all that to say, that thought, just gave birth a bird in my mind, and then I was like, oh my God, it's so true. Because yeah, I don't think the way the rest of the world thinks. I think the way God wants me to think. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna get in trouble. So then I was like, I think the best way is just to stop doing this. And then I know, guys, then God came to me, He talked to me, and He was like, is how it is. Are you listening to yourself? And I was like, yes, I'm listening to myself, and that's why I don't want to continue doing this podcast. And it was like, yeah, I know, I hear that from the human, from the human aspect, but do you know who I am? And I was like, that's a great question. Do I know who you are? He told me, if you really know who I am, if you truly believe that I'm God, the creator of everything, literally, the creator of everything, you will not be thinking the way that you're thinking right now. And I was like, okay, God, I get it. But God, like, but God, you know this. But he was like, no, Nancy. I'm God. Nothing is above me. You are afraid of a man, a mortal, someone who's just like you, who can die tomorrow. As a matter of fact, right now, because they're human. You are afraid of them. They didn't give you life. And I was like, you're right, they didn't give me life. They didn't give you salvation. I was like, yeah, you're right, they didn't give me salvation either. Like, did they create heavens and earth? And I was like, no, they did not. So why are you afraid? And I was like, well, because I'm human. He was like, yeah, I know. And that's why I love you my world. But you need to, I love you my word. And I also love you faith in the Holy Spirit, for you to call on him at that moment when you are afraid. And I was like, God, I'm so sorry. You're so right. Because then he told me, because what you're doing, then you are preferring your law degree than me. And I was like, no, but you were the one who told me to go to law school. He was like, yes, I know. That's my calling for you. But now you're switching on me. And I was like, no. And he was like, yeah, even if you don't want to think about it that way, that's what you're doing. And he reminded me, if you deny me in front of men, I will deny you in front of the Father. And I was like, Lord, no. When you come back, I want to go with you. Okay? I don't want you to deny me. Can you imagine be forsaken by the Lord? I don't know about you, but I have tasted the Lord, and I cannot imagine living without him. So at the moment he told me that, I was like, Lord, that's so true. And then he brought to mind the 3 Hebrews boys. They were like, listen, Nabu. I don't know how to say Nabucodonosor in English, guys. You just have to hear it in Spanish. They were like, yeah, we're not gonna bow before you. That's one thing. 2, the Lord our God, he can rescue us from you. But even if he doesn't, we're not gonna bow. We're not gonna bow. And I was like, oh my God, I need to learn so much. And I was like, yeah. Nancy. You know whose you are. So that means that you know that if he wanted to, he could save you. I know, for whatever scrutiny they're gonna do on you once you apply to become an attorney. But even if he doesn't, that shouldn't matter, because he should be more important than anything else. And I was like, Lord, thank you for correcting me and pulling me back on your ways. And then I told him, thank you for making me humble to accept that I was wrong. And let myself, be, put back on the path. So that was another reason your girl didn't want to do the podcast anymore, because she was scared that talking about God was going to be a liability for her to become an attorney. And I was like, Lord Jesus, please forgive me. And I'm so thankful for God's mercy. So anyways, now you know 2 things. So that means that I will continue doing the podcast. Now, I will not be telling you when it's going to happen. I will come here and I will talk about the Lord and about my experience with him. But I won't put in a schedule, because law school be schooling me. So at least for now, until 2028, because that's when I graduate, I will not have a set time but I know it's gonna happen monthly. Okay, once a month. So that's my exhortation for today. So now that I finished my thought, my mom, yes, I would say hi to her, David. Yes, I would say hi to her. And now, to bring it back to Fort Soko, I'm going to tell you 3 things that law school taught me. Because, guys, I finished my first year of law school. This is insane. Okay, the first thing is things that you have heard me tell you all the time. If you're going to law school, you need to have a reason, a solid reason that you are going to law school for. And please, it cannot be money. Excuse me. Unless money is a very solid reason for you that's going to keep you up late at night reading a case brief about milk and wondering what that has to do with the Constitution of the United States. If money is a good reason, and it's going to keep you focused when you're reading that, or reading why the height of a truck is constitutional, then by all means, then money can be your reason. But if you ask me, I don't think going to law school just for money is a good reason. I don't think so. But you know what? I could be wrong. Who am I? I could be wrong. So just make sure that's the first thing, that you have a solid reason why you want to go to law school. My reason was God sent me. God sent me. And when I was this close to give up, let me see. When I was that close to give up, then I remember God told me, I sent you. And I was like, yes, Lord, you sent me. That's why we're here. And because I want to be an immigration attorney. And I want to be able to change lives by God's mercy, by His grace and His help. So that helped me. And I was like, you have to keep it moving. You have to keep moving. 2, having said that, you belong in law school. Law school is going to make you feel like you are dumb. There's no other way to say it, guys. Because it's just different. It's not like college, okay? Law school is not like college. It's not. So don't think that you're going to go, just sit in class, not pay attention, and that by the time exam comes, you're going to be fine. No, you're going to fail. Sorry. No, you have to be engaged. Law school is not like college. So, having said that, because of the amount of work and commitment and time and everything that law school requires of you, sometimes you're gonna feel like law school is gonna make you feel like you're dumb, and there's no other way to put it. Law school is gonna make you feel intelligent, because you are learning a whole new language. You are learning how to apply the law to real like facts, scenarios of life, of someone. Like, you are learning how to take something that is very abstract and then trying to put it in a very concrete way that both you understand it, but also that you can master it, so you can persuade the judge that you're right, and that and that your client is correct, and they should win the case. So extend yourself grace, because at so many points in time I felt that I didn't belong, and I was like, Lord, are you sure you called me to go to law school? Because this is not adding up. This is not adding up. I talked to someone, and someone told me law school is professional hazing, and I was like, oh my God, I couldn't find a better word than that. If you experience hazing, law school is professional hazing. So at those moments, that's why it's so important to have a solid reason why you're in law school, but also then remind yourself that you belong. You belong in law school. And then the third thing is, you don't have to compare, and you don't have to be like anyone. Oh my goodness, I did it so much. If you do that, that's gonna be the downfall of your law career, because everyone in law school is so different. You are okay. I'm gonna tell you what I was doing. How many? Let me see. I graduated college in 2019. My idea, guys, was that I was gonna go to law school right after college. That didn't happen. For so many reasons. God didn't want it. That's the first one. God didn't want it that way. Anyways, so 2019, and then I started law school 2025. So 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 6 years. Yes, I still count with my fingers. Yes, and I'm not ashamed of that, guys. That's who I am. Math and me, we're not best friends. Okay. Okay, so 6 years. It took 6 years to go to law school after graduating college. And everyone in my class, almost everyone in my class, it came right out of college. I'm 28. So, now, I'm not saying that everyone in my class came out of college, but a good portion of them came out of college. And then there's like that you can count. I mean, you can count, the people who didn't came right after college. You can count them. So I was starting to compare myself, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so old. Here I am in law school with so many young people. And then I felt out of place because, I don't know what's like trending nowadays, guys. I don't know. So imagine, I'm talking to 20s years old, 21 years old. I think that's like, yeah. So, because I'm telling you, they make the poor, they make the majority of our class. There's others non-traditional students in there, but you can count us, okay? When I'm telling you can count us, you can count us. So I was doing that, and I was like, why am I even here? And then I was like, Nancy, why are you doing that? You need to run your own, you need to run your own lane. So in law school, don't compare yourself to anyone. Don't compare that this person is understanding the case better than you, that they understood what briefing is before you, that they understood what outlining is, that they are more outspoken than you in class, than you, that this person handled better a cold call than you did. Don't do that, because I was doing that and I was miserable for the first month. And I'm telling you, law school, the first year is horrible as it is. Then I was making it more horrible for myself, comparing myself. So don't do that. Learn from me, okay? So those are the 3 things that law school taught me. You need to have a solid reason of why you're going to law school. You belong there, and don't compare yourself to anyone, because you just can't. You're gonna make yourself miserable. You're gonna be like me, okay? You're gonna get pimples. You won't be able to sleep. Like, you're gonna have dark eyes, like dark circles. Your hair is gonna look crazy. Your mental health is gonna be crazy. Your self-esteem is gonna be like all the way down there. And you won't be able to concentrate of why you're in law school. You are there to learn. So it's okay if you don't know something, because hello, at the end of the day, you're all going there to learn. So anyways, so those are my 3 cents of what law school taught me. And to close it off, trust the Lord, know the Lord, love the Lord, lean on the Lord, call on the Lord, talk to the Lord, trust him, and and love him, and he is for you. Man, if he is for you, who can be against you? The Lord of the universe is with you. So don't forget that. Okay, well, I shall see you next month. Bye.